am B. Janardhan Reddy. In this video, I am going to tell you scattering of light. What is the scattering of light? Why the sky is blue? Why sunsets or sunrises are red? These questions are answered clearly in this video. Okay. So here is one question. Do you know what happens to the free atom or molecules when it is exposed to certain frequency of light? Isn't it? When an atom or molecule is exposed to sunlight of certain frequency, what happens then? See here, atoms or molecules which are exposed to light absorb light energy and re-emit some part of the light energy absorbed in different directions, and this is called as the scattering of light. See here I am writing, atoms or molecules which are exposed to light absorb light energy and emit some part of the light energy in different directions. This is the basic process happens in scattering of light. Okay, and whenever the wavelength of the exposed light is almost equivalent to the atom or is almost equivalent to the size of the atom or molecule, then only that atom or molecule responds to that light, that color. Then it absorbs the energy of that color and re-emits the same color in different directions but with different intensities. Isn't it? So here in scattering, the basic property, there is one condition to be satisfied. The atom responds the light whenever the size of the atom or molecule is comparable to the wavelength of light. Isn't it? Here I will show you how an atom or molecule responds to particular wavelength of light. So here is a ray of sunlight, that is the white light. You know, a ray of white light contains all visible colors from red to violet. Each color has different wavelength and different frequency. And if an atom or molecule in atmosphere is exposed to this ray of light, assume that, what happens? Isn't it? So that atom or molecule will not respond to all colors of light. It responds only when its size is comparable to the size of the wavelength. See here. This is an atom and it is exposed to ray of white light containing 7 colors. Red, isn't it? VGR colors, violet, isn't it? Here, red color. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And if this atom is exposed to different frequency of colors, it will respond, that means it absorbs only one particular light or color. You see here. Here, the wavelength of red color I am showing. Isn't it? So the wavelength of red color is almost equal to the size of the atom. You can see here. The size of the atom and the wavelength of red color light is almost equal. Then this atom or molecule absorbs only this red color light and ignores all other colors, and all other colors will be transmitted as usual in their direction. But this atom or molecule only absorbs red color light. You know, when atom absorbs energy, the electrons jump from lower energy to higher energy level, and again they come back to their original position. At that time, atom loses energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. See here. So for that reason, this atom absorbs only red color light, and again it re-emits the same red color light in all directions, in different directions. It re-emits only red color light, not other colors. That means the frequency of the re-emission of light is same as the incident light. You can see here. So what is happening here? It is absorbing only red color light, the energy of the red color light, and the atom comes into vibration, and in result it will re-emit only red color light in different direction. This is called as the scattering of light, and all other colors will travel as usual in their direction only, isn't it? And here the wavelength of the re-emitted light is same as the incident light. The only thing is that intensity is different, isn't it? So the light re-emitted by the atom or molecule is same as the incident light. The only thing is that the intensity of the re-emitted light is different. Okay, see here. Let us take one more atom or molecule in atmosphere. Several gases are present in atmosphere, and here I am taking one more molecule. This is another molecule, and if this atom or molecule is exposed to this light, that means all colors are going to fall on this, are going to incident on this atom. Of these colors, this atom will respond only to the color whose wavelength is almost equivalent to its size. So see here, the size of the blue color, that is the wavelength of the blue color light, is almost equivalent to the size of the atom. Then this atom will absorb only blue color light and re-emit again only blue color light. That means here blue color light is scattered. Okay, like this. Suppose, take one more example. Still small atom is there here, and the size of this atom is equivalent to the wavelength of the violet color light, isn't it? That means the size of the atom matches to the wavelength of violet color only. That's why this atom absorbs only violet color light and re-emits only violet color light in different directions, but with different intensities, and all other colors will transmit as it is, will be transmitted as it is in their direction. The light that is not scattered is transmitted. Here violet color is scattering. Violet color light is scattered here. See here, the size of the atom is equivalent to the wavelength of this violet color light. That's why it absorbs only violet color light and re-emits only violet color light in all directions. Okay, so this is called as the scattering of light. Okay. Next, you see here, in an atom, electrons revolve around the nucleus. How scattering takes place, that I am going to explain. In an atom, electrons revolve around the nucleus. When the atom gains energy, the electrons jump from lower energy, that is ground state, to higher energy state, that is excited state. And the atom is said to be in excited state at that time. The electrons no longer stay in the excited state but come to ground state, losing energy. And this process continues as long as it gains energy. Isn't it? See here. This is an atom. It is its nucleus, positive sign, positive. Okay. And here is an orbit. Electrons revolve around the nucleus like this. See here, this is an electron. It is revolving around the nucleus. When this atom is exposed to light, what happens? Electron gains energy. It jumps to higher energy level. See how? That's all. The electron has jumped from this energy level to this energy level, but it no longer be there in the excited state. It has come back to its original state, ground state, leaving some energy. Again it has gone, it has jumped to higher energy level. Again it is coming back. So this process continues as long as the atom is exposed to some light. So in this way, electrons will vibrate from higher energy to lower energy to higher energy. Okay, you can see that thing here. So you can see how wonderful it is. See here, I am very clearly explaining what is scattering. First, I am writing all the steps here. A beam of light falls on an atom and increases the vibrational motion of electrons in the atom. Why vibrational motion? Because electrons jump from lower energy to higher energy and higher energy to lower energy. Isn't it? So the light which falls on an atom increases the vibrational motion of electrons in the atom, and in turn the vibrating electrons re-emit the light in various directions, and this is called as the scattering of light. At that time we can say that light is scattered. So let us consider that a certain frequency of light is incident on an atom. Then electrons come into vibration due to this light. This in turn re-emits light of same frequency in all directions with different intensity. Okay, so when light falls on the atom, it responds. Just now I have explained you. When light falls on the atom, it responds to the light whenever the size of the atom or molecule is comparable to the wavelength of light. Just now I have explained, I showed you also. And if this condition is satisfied, the atom absorbs light and electrons in it vibrate. And due to these vibrations, the atom re-emits a certain frequency, that is a certain fraction of absorbed energy in all directions with different intensities. Isn't it? So whatever the frequency of light is absorbed by the atom, the same frequency of light is re-emitted in all directions by the atom, but with different intensities. Isn't it? So here you can see clearly. The re-emitted light is called what? Scattered light. And the process of re-emission of light in all directions with different intensity is called scattering of light. And the atoms are molecules which absorb energy, light energy, and re-emit the energy are called scattering centers. And the intensity of the scattering light is more when the angle between the incident light and the scattering light is 90 degrees. It is experimentally observed that the intensity of scattered light varies with the angle of scattering. So the intensity is maximum at 90 degrees angle of scattering. So that you can see here. So you can see very clearly, this is an atom. It is the nucleus of that atom. And here is the orbit. Don't assume that this is the first orbit. Just I am taking an orbit, that's all. Isn't it? If it is the first orbit, it should have only 2 electrons to accommodate. But here I am showing 6 electrons. Just for understanding purpose, I am showing this is a lower energy level in which electrons are revolving around this nucleus. This is the higher energy level. Say it is the ground state, and this one is the excited state. Lower energy level, higher energy level. So initially, before this atom is exposed to light, electrons are revolving in this ground state only. See here, all these are the 6 electrons I am showing. These electrons are revolving around the nucleus. When this atom is exposed to light, what is happening? The electrons come into vibration. Why vibration? Electrons will jump from lower to higher, higher to lower, lower to higher, higher to lower, like this. So the vibrating electrons, what is happening? The vibrating electrons re-emit the light of same frequency in different directions. See here, same light. Here I have shown you yellow light. This atom is absorbing yellow light. That means this atom responds only yellow light, yellow color, and it is re-emitting only yellow color light. So this is the process of scattering exactly. And the intensity, see here, this is the incident light, and the re-emitted light is called scattered light. And the intensity of scattering is more here. I have shown, see, the intensity is more here. Isn't it? So the intensity of light, the intensity of scattered light is more when the angle between the incident light and the scattered light is almost 90 degrees. Okay, so this is called as the scattering. You can see here. Okay. So with the knowledge of the scattering of light, we can answer why sky appears blue. Okay, see here. Here is an observer. Here is the sun. This is the sunlight, and here is an atom which is exposed to sunlight. If observer looks towards the sky through an angle of 90 degrees to the incident light, then sky appears blue, and the intensity of this blue color varies with angles, with the angle of vision. Okay, so why sky appears blue, that I am going to answer now. You see here. So here we know that our atmosphere contains different types of molecules and atoms. The reason for blue sky is due to the molecules nitrogen and oxygen in atmosphere, because the sizes of these molecules are comparable to the wavelength of blue light. So these molecules act as scattering centers for scattering of blue light. That is the reason why sky appears blue. You can see here. Say this is a nitrogen molecule or oxygen molecule, and here are the electrons revolving around the nucleus of nitrogen or oxygen, incident light, and here these electrons are vibrating because the molecule is exposed to sunlight, and the size of this molecule is comparable with the size of the wavelength of blue light. That means this molecule absorbs only blue color light and re-emits only blue color light in different directions. You can see here. That means this nitrogen or oxygen molecule is absorbing only blue color light which is incident on them, and see here, from here to here, you see here the wavelength of blue color light is from here to here. The size of the molecule, nitrogen molecule or oxygen molecule, is almost equivalent to the size of the blue color light, that is wavelength of the blue color light. That's why nitrogen and oxygen molecules will respond to only blue color light. That's why they act as scattering centers for blue color light only. That's why sky appears blue. That means an observer, these blue color rays reach to an observer standing on the ground or somewhere. Okay. In the same manner, we can answer why sunsets and sunrises are red. During the sunset and during the sunrise, sky appears as red. Why? See here. During the sunset, sky appears as red. Similarly, during the sunrise also, the sky appears red. Why? So here I am going to explain during the sunsets and sunrises why sky appears blue. So this is the earth, and here is atmosphere around the earth. The atmosphere contains free molecules and atoms of with atoms with different sizes. These molecules and atoms scatter light of different wavelengths which are comparable to their size. So, molecules having size that is comparable to the wavelength of red light are less in the atmosphere. Hence, scattering of red light is less when compared to the other colors of light. Okay, so our atmosphere contains molecules or atoms of different sizes, and molecules having size that is equal to wavelength of the red light are very less. That means the scattering centers for red color light is less. Scattering centers are very less for red color light. That's why light which is not scattered is transmitted for longer distances. Okay, see here. The light from sun needs to travel more distances in atmosphere during sunrise and sunset to reach your eye. So in morning and evening times, during sunrise and sunset, except red light, all colors scatter more and vanish before they reach you. Since scattering of red light is very small, it reaches you. As a result, sun appears red in color during sunrise and sunset. Okay, so during sunrise and sunset, light from the sun has to travel longer distances to reach the ground, to reach the earth. You can see here. This is the sunlight coming from the sun this side, and it needs to travel least distance at noon, shortest path at noon, and it has to travel longer distances during the sunset and sunrise. Greatest path of sunlight through atmosphere is at sunset or sunrise. That means light has to travel longer and longer distances during the sunset and sunrise, and the scattering centers, that is the molecules having the size of the wavelength of red color light, are very less in atmosphere. That's why red color light will suffer less in scattering. That means it can travel longer distances, and the other colors are scattered within short distances only before reaching to the ground. That's why during the sunset and sunrise, the sky appears red. Okay, here you can see this is the white light containing 7 colors. Okay, assume that this is the sunlight reaching to the ground. Here is the observer, and all the colors are transmitted less distance because they vanish before they reach to the observer. And here the red color light is traveling or transmitting longer distances without affecting scattering. Without being scattered, the red color light is traveling more and more distance. Isn't it? So only the red color light reaches to the observer on the ground. Hence, the sunset appears as red color to him. Okay? Thank you.